What's your story? What's your story? What's your story? What's your story?
Brad, what is your story?
What's your story? What's your story?
Hey everyone!
What's going on?
Welcome back to another week of What's Your Story?
What is your story this week?
Do you want me to go first?
I do.
Okay, something's been weighing on my conscience. Have
Yeah.
you ever eaten the cookies EL fudge? They're like pretend little elves make them, but they really don't. There's chocolate in the middle.
I'm sure I have, but
grams.
I can't totally recall.
Each cookie looks like an elf with chocolate smushed in the middle. Fudge smushed in
Fairly
the middle.
positive I've
You
consumed
probably consumed some of them.
one or two of them in my life.
So I just really wanted to buy a package of them on Sunday, and I don't buy sweets ever. So I bought a package on Sunday.
Yeah.
Today is Wednesday. There are 2 cookies left.
That's basically how it works
And
in my world.
I didn't share with anybody.
When did you consume them all? Like at night when you were watching TV?
Like
Or
throughout the day.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes I bring some with me on the go.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Snacking on cookies, like grazing on cookies.
I actually ate one before I came here.
So you're in
and
a
I was
total.
like, man, they're so good. I can't buy these ever again.
You're in like a full-on cookie relapsing slide
Oh man, they're so good.
into oblivion right now.
And you know what? I was gonna bring the remainder to the gym and give them away so I wouldn't eat them.
Yeah.
And then I looked inside and I realized there was only 4 of them, and I thought, well, I'll just keep them for myself. It's only 4.
Of course.
So.
Of course. Are you a sugar person?
No,
I mean,
I love chips, like French fries and chips, like salty.
So you're a salty,
Yeah,
salty person?
but you know, I buy all my chips from like Trader Joe's, so it's not really that bad, anyways. And I mean, my cupboard's full of like wheat thins and snap peas and shit.
Wow.
It's not amazing.
So you don't eat dessert on a regular basis, like
No, I don't eat dinner.
or sweets? I mean, I call it, I don't know, dessert. But
Yeah,
it's like,
no.
you know. So after dinner at night when you're watching TV or whatever, you don't have the urge to want to just crush a sleeve of Oreos?
No, I try to make a rule for myself. Like Monday through Friday, no sweets is the rule I try to stick to.
That's amazing. You know, my wife and I, Marnie and I, we just basically came up with that, right?
Yeah.
And we tried to implement it last night. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
were like, okay, this is
we
the
are
deal.
on holiday,
Like
so.
we're just totally trying to like manage and control our sweets intake right now, and we're just off the Richter scale. Like when it for me, like when it gets above like 80 degrees, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to not want to get ice cream. It's really, really hard for me to not want to get
One
ice
of
cream.
the best things that ever happened to me was my body rejected milk and ice cream. So even though I want ice cream, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna get terrible stomach pains for 48 hours. Not happening. No ice cream.
This happened once and you've never looked back?
Never looked back. I
Wow.
really miss vanilla ice cream with rainbow sprinkles, but I'm not doing it.
Wow. So you had like a violent stomach
Oh,
reaction?
it was awful. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I wasn't sure if that was the case, and so I tested it out. That was the case.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So did you go to a doctor and get that checked out, or you just sort of
I was just like,
assuming?
fuck it.
Yeah. You don't
My
want to
body
go back
can't
there
deal with
again?
it anymore, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I need something like that to happen to me. Seriously, dude. The thing from you know what it is? It's like it's bread and sugar.
Bread's my favorite. Like
Who
garlic
doesn't
bread.
love bread?
Okay,
Oh my God.
I eat a lot of salads, but in order for me to mentally be okay eating all the salads,
Yeah.
I'll get like the sourdough wheat bread, the really big slices,
Yeah.
and I'll put like garlic and butter and
God.
Parmesan and like
It's incredible.
garlic salt in there. And so I'm like, well, I'm eating the bread. It's fine because I ate a salad too.
I feel like if you do that, though, you
garlic
have to
bread's
get the pasta
amazing.
with it,
Oh yeah, I eat
right?
that
If
like
you're gonna do
at
the
least
garlic
4
bread with
nights a week.
cheese,
Pasta
is
and
so,
chicken's
like-
my favorite meal in the universe.
it's the best.
Yeah,
It's the greatest.
yeah.
That's the thing with me is bread and sweets, man. Is if I take them out of my diet, I lose weight. If I put them in, it's on. You
Okay,
know,
here's a
there's no way
technical
around it.
question for you. When you eat your pasta with your garlic bread,
Yeah.
this is a weird thing I've developed, and I have been made fun of for it. Do you twist your pasta and put it on your bread, and then you eat like a bite of pasta and bread smashed together?
Wow. Like a
That's like a
pasta
thing.
sandwich.
Yeah, well, not necessarily a sandwich, but the pasta's definitely sit on top of the bread, and like then it's like a real task to get the whole thing in your mouth at the same
Yeah.
time. I don't do this on dates, by the way, because I know it's not cute.
I haven't gone there yet.
Yeah.
You know, I know some people do the chips and the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and they put the chips in the middle. you done that one?
Oh, with peanut butter and jelly? See,
Yeah.
I do it with like a turkey and cheese sandwich, and I'll shove
Or
some
any
chips
type
in
of
there.
sandwich. You put
Before
some
I
chips in
came,
there?
that's what I ate.
Wow.
I ate a roll with turkey, cheese, and chips inside of it.
How do you stay so thin? And you're eating sandwiches and shit?
Well, part of it is my metabolism, but part of it is, I don't know, I work out like 5 days a week, Brad.
This metabolism thing is not fair. It really isn't.
I'm sorry.
It's so not fair, dude. It's just not.
I'm sorry, Brad.
What is it? What does it mean, metabolism? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
how fast your body burns calories.
how fast your body burns calories.
And that shit just gets worse the older you get.
I think my metabolism pretty much stopped working.
I mean, after the age of 30, it starts to plummet.
Drastically, right?
Drastically.
That's what they say.
Yep.
It's just so wrong.
Just gotta up your cardio. I just recently started doing more cardio.
Yeah? Is that the key?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cardio, weights, who knows?
Yeah.
I just feel like for me, you know, I just tested it too. I waited in Palm Springs for a few days.
Did you work out?
I worked out,
Good.
but my diet was just kind of like, it wasn't like,
It was bananas?
it wasn't like totally off the rails, but it was enough to just, you know, you just feel it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's you know, it's just sucks, you know?
Right.
Both my wife and I have it the same way. It's like, if we eat bread and sweets, we put on a lot of weight. If we don't, we drop, but it's like, it's hard when you're on vacation to not want to.
Yeah, because when you're on vacation, you want to mentally enjoy
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Nobody wants to not eat the bread basket, the whole bread basket.
Dude, bread is incredible.
It's my favorite thing.
Back in the East Coast where I grew up, everywhere you went for dinner, they always said, do you want rolls? Rolls for the table? Like rolls, bread. That doesn't happen out here, though.
How about when you go to Europe? So much bread.
Dude.
Everywhere, bread.
Right.
Bread and cheese, bread and cheese, bread and cheese.
You got to.
And wine. They give you the alcohol free. That's so tricky. You have to pay for the water.
Whoa.
But the alcohol comes with the meal. You get either a beer or a complimentary glass of wine.
And it's sort of like insulting if you don't drink the alcohol.
Oh, it is insulting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, I don't drink, so.
You don't drink?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Never knew that about you.
Yeah.
I thought you drank.
No.
Not at all?
Mm-mm.
Why?
You don't want me to drink. It's not
Are you bad news?
it's not a pretty thing.
Like an angry guy, or like a sexual guy, or like an annoying guy?
All the above. You didn't know that I didn't drink?
No, I just assumed you were knocking him back over there.
No.
It's like he's a rock star. He drinks whiskey on the rocks, man.
No.
Make it a double.
Definitely not me.
Okay.
I mean, put it this way, as they say, I spilled more than most people drink.
All right.
I mean, I definitely drank prodigiously in my
Yeah, you got it in.
my years. You know, but I had to sort of stop. I had to sort of stop the chaos.
Okay, well, you know what? Way to go, Brad.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Are you a drinker?
I wouldn't say I'm a drinker. I like to socially drink.
Yeah.
I like-
So you can have a drink or two and just not get crazy?
Yeah, my limit's 2.
Wow,
If
that's
I'm
so
out,
crazy.
I automatically cap myself at 2, and I refuse to have more.
It's
If
amazing.
if I know I'm not getting up early the next morning, which is hardly ever, I'm almost always up early, then I'll have like 2.5. Never more than 3.
So when
Never.
did you implement this rule? Like when did it kick into you to say? I mean, you know, you had the foresight to be able to actually make that rule and stick to it. It's incredible.
I really like to work out in the morning. If I don't go in the morning, I'm not going to go. And if I don't work out, I'm very upset about everything in the world.
Because you need that to sort of calibrate yourself.
Yeah, like I'm not going to feel good about myself if I don't go work out.
Right. And if you have more than 2 drinks, you can't get up
I'm
and
probably
work
not
out.
going to work out. Yeah, I'm probably not going to work
That's
out.
the thing, right
So the
there.
working out was more important to me. And I like to get
Which
up
is
and
great.
get shit done. Like I have a lot of shit that I do every day. And
Right.
I don't like to feel a little bit headachy and a little bit off. I feel like, man, the day's ruined. I just ruined the whole day because I was selfish and had more than 2 drinks.
So like you have 2 drinks in you and like the bar is hopping and there's like some dudes kicking it to you and whatever and you're feeling good. So you don't have this feeling that you just want to like, you know.
No, but part of the problem is probably that I leave at like 11:30 every
Dude.
time I go out.
Oh, you go out late?
But you know what I do? I like
So you-
leave. I'm like done at 11:30. I'm like, oh, it's 11:30. Gotta go. Bye. And I know that's when bars
God,
really
I feel
get
like if I could
knocking.
just rewind the clocks and just do it like that, you know, like I just feel like I could do it, you know, I
But
could
if I
do
go,
it,
but I think it's better if I have wine because I can sip wine. Like I can get an hour out of a glass of wine, no problem. Yeah, so I can just make that shit last. If you give me like a Moscow Mule, though, I'm gonna drink it a lot faster.
A what?
Moscow Mule.
What is that?
It's really easy. It's vodka, ginger beer, and lime. and they always serve it in a copper cup. If they don't serve it to you in a copper cup, I would be suspicious if I were you.
Wow. Drinking has changed.
Probably
I didn't
not.
get copper cups.
Oh, well, maybe. I would buy you a set of copper cups, but you're just going to... I mean, you can put iced tea in it. It's going to keep your iced tea really cold.
Right.
Yeah.
What's it called? The Moscow Mule?
Moscow Mule.
Is that a new thing, or has that been around a little bit?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, I've been drinking for the last couple of years, but
so did you ever...
they
Have you
existed.
gotten... So you've gotten drunk, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Many times,
Yeah,
right?
when I was younger. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Before I implemented the 2-drink rule.
How long has the 2-drink rule been implemented in?
Probably like at least 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Wow. It's kind of like an LA thing too, right? Just keep it.
I don't think that's an LA. I don't know.
I feel like it's an LA thing. Like people
I was
keep
out with
their
a bunch of
shit
people all
a
weekend,
bit
and
tight.
a lot of them were super wasted.
Really?
Yeah, I was like helping them get home.
Are you usually like the designated driver, like the one that everybody knows is only gonna keep it together?
I don't go out that enough.
I see your Instagram though. It seems like you're out all the time.
But the things I go out to are like events relating to my career. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like partying.
So those pictures are just you. Those are like
most of them. I'm like at a premiere of something or a red carpet something or. Blah, blah,
look
blah.
at you.
It's just this weekend I had a wedding and there's things every day, and I told myself I would like to give them my time because these are important people to me, so I'm just going to do all the things they want to do.
How many people were wasted at the wedding? Was it kind of a
Excellent
shit fest
question.
or?
No, it wasn't a shit fest. No. But there was, I mean, definitely probably like 20 people, 30 people wasted.
Wow.
It wasn't insane. But it was at Heritage Square. I don't know if you've ever been there. Beautiful.
Heritage
amazing.
Square. I feel like I've heard of it.
It's all these Victorian houses that have been restored, and it's like a little town with a church and a whole bunch of stuff.
Huh.
And you can go visit it. You can make an appointment. They'll tour you around. It's supposed to be haunted. It's really cool. But the wedding was outside in like a courtyard area, and they string lights, which was really amazing. So you're surrounded by all these Victorian houses outside. But you have to be done by 10:30 because of the area that it is. So the wedding was over at 10 o'clock. And then we all went to a bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there a DJ?
There was, who was super questionable, FYI.
So the selection of music was
it was a little rough.
It was rough?
The group that I was with made me go over twice to be like, hey, so could you just pump it up a little bit? And
so they made you go over?
Yeah, because I'm like, hi, you're doing such a great job, but do you mind just da-da-da-da-da?
Like playing
like
other
I'm kind
shit.
of unimposing because I'm so small, right? And then
so you wanted to hear some like upbeat dance type music?
I wanted to hear like down and dirty, let's grind music. That's what
Really?
everybody wanted to hear.
Everybody
like,
wanted
give me
to hear
something with a heavy bass so we can like knock it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they play at the gym a little bit?
No.
No?
Like at a club.
Really?
Yeah. Like people
Like
wanted to
advanced
dance.
stuff.
They wanted to dance.
Like what would be a song that you would want that you were thinking of? Was there a song in particular you were thinking of?
Have you heard
Did you
that
go
song?
up there with like a request?
To the window, to the wall, to the sweat drop down these balls, to all my females crawl. No, nope.
To
Are you
the
drawing
what?
all-
The sweat?
Nope. John knows what I'm talking about. John knows what's up.
To the sweat drips down these balls?
Yep. To all these
I don't
females
think
crawl. To all these skeet motherfuckers. Nope.
Dude, I swear to God,
All
I've
right.
never heard that in my life.
Anyways, Brad. Yeah.
That's what you were looking for.
Yeah. Well, he played it finally towards the end of the night when all the
Did you actually request that
conservatives went home.
song?
No.
No.
But we wanted something that we could.
Who
move
sings
to.
that song? Or is
I
singing
don't even
the
know. I should look it up.
appropriate word?
I feel like I should play it for you.
Yeah. I want to hear it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a current. It was probably popular like.
That's when we need to
8
phase that
years
song in
ago.
right now. We need to phase that song in right
Well,
now.
I don't have it geared up in my iTunes at the moment, unfortunately. But
You should be able to just speak into your phone and it just plays it.
It probably. Okay, from the window to the wall. Here we go.
From the window to the wall.
From the window to the wall. Lil Jon.
I feel
None
like
of
it's
it's
always
ringing a
everyone's Lil.
Get low. Get low. Nope. Any of this ring a bell for you? Okay.
What do you got?
Any of this ringing a bell?
Uh-uh.
Yep. Nope. Nope. All right. Brad's at a loss, folks.
Dude, I swear to God, I've never heard that. And I feel like I'm up on it. I mean, I feel like I hear stuff that's like, like popular hip hop rap.
I mean, that was like 8 years ago.
Is it? It's been around for a while, huh?
Maybe
Shit.
10. Maybe, yeah, 10.
Damn, Kimbrough knows
been around
it.
well, he knows his music, unlike
Dude,
some people
totally.
here.
We got a special guest today.
We do
in
have
the
a special
house.
guest.
Who's here?
Yes, he is. Are we ready for this action?
I don't know if we're ready for the man, the myth, the
I
legend,
think you're ready for this jelly.
Mr. John Kimbrough
We ready?
is our guest in his house today.
Mm-hmm.
Folks,
Folks.
as you're driving, getting your iced coffees by the time this airs.
Yep.
Don't go nowhere. We'll be back with our special guest momentarily, Mr. John Kimbrough on the show. Welcome to What's Your Story.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll be back in a minute.
In a jiff.
Peace.
In a jiff.
What's your story? What's your story?
Welcome back, everyone. John's with us.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, John. Hey.
Mr. John Kimbrough's in the house.
And for those of you who don't know, John is a producer, an amazing producer. He's also a musician and has a band. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Also scores television, radio. He's got a little Emmy under his belt. So,
Someone's done their research.
you know,
You did your research.
a good interviewer always does their research, Brad.
See, she's a pro.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
She's a pro.
I'm just saying, that's what you got to do.
That's good.
It's good stuff.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So Brad connected us with you because you actually worked with Brad. You just helped him on his most recent album.
I did. We recorded a lot of the record at my studio.
Yeah.
And was any part of that wanting you to tear out your hair working with Brad?
Yeah, every single day. Every day. No question about it. But
Part of the fun. Part of the fun.
But
the result was that we made a great record. And
Yes.
there's some really good songs on it. And
Yeah.
it sounds really good, so.
and thus far, what's been released is being well received. We might add.
I guess so. Well, the record's not out yet. The
Well,
record's
I said, what
not
has
out
it-
yet.
Don't you have a single though out?
Yeah, we just put a
Yeah,
single out. Yeah,
yeah.
single and a video, and yeah, we did. I remember when we first cut that, like just how exciting it was listening to those early
Which
phases of Highest Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just kind of seeing where it all goes. And it's like John and I have always talked about, like, when you hear the potential of a song, and its demo format and what it could be, it's always super exciting. But then when you get it, when you take it there, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
add all the elements into the soup. And
Well, it's because there's nowhere else. Like you're in love with the idea of the thing,
Yeah.
and then every choice you make narrows the path until finally, like, you've got like two more things to do, and then you do those things, and then it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to make your peace with
Where you took it to.
where you took it to, and so there's always like,
and then there's the peel back, and then there's the peel back where you go there and you
Yeah.
add all the elements to the soup. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then it's like,
it's too many.
then you're
ingredients.
like, shit, man, what is it? What is the thing
Too
here?
many
What is the thing here that's like,
Yeah.
And then, but it's like then it's deciphering.
it's the children's choir. That's like too much. We should
Right.
probably remove,
Children's
and then you remove the children's choir, and you're like, oh yeah, that's way better. And then,
Or you're like, shit, we need the children's choir back.
yeah, but I think the peel back. What you're saying about the peel back is you're saying
Yeah.
that the what happens is that you throw a ton of shit on there, and then you're just like, oh, this is too much, and then you scale it back, and you're
Right.
like, well, it's actually better that way.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay.
Yeah.
That- we did a lot of
I mean,
that.
Yeah.
I think we did a lot of that. Yeah, it's always those. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, add this, add that. It's great, and then, but there is this point where you're just like, I mean, it makes sense. It's but at least with modern tracking in the digital world, you can do the peel back.
Well, I think that's kind of the problem with the modern way
Yeah.
of doing things is that if you can do anything, you usually do whether you should or not, and then you just have like 100 tracks of stuff.
Yeah.
And in the old days, you had to make choices. In the old days, you were like, well, we just don't have enough room
Right.
to do the children's choir, so we're just
Right.
not.
So we're just not gonna do it.
We're not going to do it, and that was the
That was
better
it.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the life made that choice for you.
Right. It
Yeah.
forced you to choose more carefully,
Yes.
but now you don't have to.
And you had to plan ahead back in the day because you didn't have very much room because it was all on tape and you just didn't have the space. And now you have infinite space, infinite number of choices.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? I don't know. There's an argument to be made that that's not a good thing.
I think that's pretty valid.
You know,
Yeah.
you want to limit your choices. I think you can be more focused creatively if you have fewer choices, not more choices.
You know what? I would agree with
Just
that. Yep. You're absolutely right about that.
Do you feel like it's moving back? I mean, I know obviously the vinyl resurgence, purchasing records, listening to records has become like a very real thing that's happening now.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not
that's a
like
big deal.
It's not like it's a new thing anymore. It's kind of a thing,
It
you
is a
know.
thing.
But the question is, recording wise, you know, I know a lot of people have moved in that direction. I know we've talked about it, making this record and getting elements of that into this record, even though it's, you know, straddling that horse between digital and analog. Straddling that fence. Yeah.
Horse fence.
straddling the
Either
horse.
one works.
Straddling the fence.
Either one.
Horse.
Horse or a fence.
But do you see yourself too recording and your, you know, your new projects that you're working on too? Is there a sort of a tendency to leaning more towards analog stuff?
So I a while ago had this fantasy that I was going to go back to recording using the original 4-track machine that I used when I was like in high school.
Okay.
Wow.
And I loved that idea. And then I tried kind of to do it.
Yeah.
And it was, the machine is really old, and it was really acting up. Like, it was really hard to get it to just, it kind of just wanted to be left alone.
It was like, I don't think so.
Yeah. So I gave up on that idea, but there are a couple of artists out there who use this certain kind of 8-track machine from the 80s.
Okay.
That is, it's kind of like a 4-track, except it's, you know, a little bit bigger and better. And these things are now on eBay and Craigslist, and people are starting to use them. And a friend of mine just bought one, and he's going to start using it. And I kind of want to own one too.
Yeah.
So I feel like there is this trend toward just going back to it's like a back to the land movement. Like we're just getting back to basic. Like I feel overwhelmed by the number of choices that I have.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not good. I'm a simple. What I'm saying is I'm a very simple man.
Right.
And I can't really deal with too many choices.
Well, that's like IKEA was already very overwhelming.
I was just at IKEA. I was completely overwhelmed.
It's like its own country.
Yeah.
I don't
new
even
IKEA
know.
Have you been to the new IKEA in Burbank?
I'm terrified to go. One of my friends just went, and she was like, it's insane.
I had no idea. Like, I rolled up with my daughter the other day, like, oh, we're going to find some furniture for her room.
Right.
And it was in a completely different location. Like, I just had Waze kind of take me.
Right,
like, I forget quite how to get.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't look the same as the IKEA I went to before. And then I realized it was a whole new. It's like a campus. It's the hugest building ever. And then we went inside, and I had exactly that problem where I couldn't see anything because there was
so much,
too many choices.
So what did you leave with?
I just wrote things down. You know, I'd see like the Larnval, you know, and I'd like write that down. I'd write the aisle and the bin number. Right. And I was like moving on because it was crazy because it was Memorial Day.
Oh.
And it was just mob.
It was madness. It was a sale.
It was kind of like going to Disneyland on like a holiday, like Christmas at Disneyland. Like it was so dumb to do that. And
but did they have those fog misters? You know those? If it's too hot out, they got the little fog mister things.
At
like,
IKEA or Disneyland?
Well, when you're at IKEA.
Seriously?
Yeah. When you're waiting.
Indoors?
No, not where the merch. Not where the
like you know when you go to pick up your stuff, they deliver it to you, and you're waiting, and your car is parked out there, and they just have a little mister thing when you're waiting.
That's like some Palm Springs shit.
He's saying that because he just came from Palm Springs.
No, but the one in Burbank that we went to before, they had that.
This is what we're discussing. The one in Burbank.
I know.
No, they didn't have that the other day. But
it's coming.
Yeah.
No.
It's coming.
But it was a completely overwhelming experience. And that's a perfect example. Like if you went into IKEA and you needed a couch, and there were 4 couches, you'd be like,
well, this is what we got to get.
Eeny, miny, mo.
But when there's 27.
Right. There were 27
You're going to spend 2 hours sitting on every couch.
That's exactly what we did.
And then you're going to just be like, fuck it, I'll just look online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we did. And now I have to go back and actually get it.
You got to go back.
I got to go back and actually go down to where you get it all, and I got to pile it into the car.
I mean, how much online shopping do you guys do now?
Hardly ever.
But apparently
only when I specifically need things.
Yeah.
And I'll find what I want somewhere like Wayfair. I'm obsessed with Wayfair.com. And I'll find it on Wayfair.
What is Wayfair.com?
And stuff for your house. I love stuff for your
really?
house.
Wayfair.com?
Wayfair.com.
Wow.
Obsessed. And then sometimes I'll look on Amazon to see if I can get a better price.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought a vanity light. It's on the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the way.
Amazon
I
is
bought a lot from
a
Wayfair.
slippery slope. Because
It is.
you can really just buy everything on it. Like,
Yeah.
I need deodorant. It's just like,
Right.
oh, just
I bought my last 2 sets of deodorant on
Okay.
Amazon.
But here's the thing about that. Like, carbon footprint. Not good.
No, for sure. I only do it when I have like several things I need to buy. Like soon I'm gonna need to get face wash, moisturizer, and I want to get this charcoal stuff for your teeth that whitens your teeth.
What?
Charcoal powder. Yeah, it's very natural. It just whitens your teeth. So I'm waiting until I need about 4 things from Amazon. I keep a running list in my phone of things I need to order from Amazon, and then when I've got a little list, then I'll order from Amazon.
Then
Just
the
think about
carbon
that.
footprint makes sense a little more.
Just think about millions of people who are all just like, I need toothpicks.
Well, I know a human that does that because they have Amazon Prime. They'll order one at a time, one at a
That's
time,
what
one at a
I have
time.
Amazon Prime.
So you might
Guilty as
you
charged.
might do that.
I
And-
do.
and
I do weird stuff like that.
I've never done that in my life. Ordered anything online,
I'm sorry, you said you've never ordered anything online?
Nothing.
Never.
Ever.
At the holidays, you never order anything online.
What do you do for
mean-
Christmas, man?
Yeah, exactly. For your family that's on the East Coast,
I mean,
what do
Marnie
you do?
usually does it all.
Okay, so
so-
that counts. That counts. Your household orders online.
All right, it still counts.
Liar.
But the Amazon Prime, like you order it and it really truly arrives like the next.
Yes, it's
Like-
shocking.
the
it's
next day
amazing.
or at the most 2 days later.
Yeah.
At
The most 2
days.
days. Like if it's 3 days, something's
Sometimes
definitely
some
wrong.
things can be same day delivery.
Some of them can. And Amazon Prime, like, this is turning into a pitch for Amazon Prime. I don't mean it to be that. But
Give us a free membership, Amazon.
a lot of the shipping is free if you do like a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
It's so, it's insidious because, like, before you know it, you've just got this kind of running list of stuff that you just get
Right.
on Amazon Prime. And
then plus you can watch video, right? You got Prime, you can watch all the
I
Amazon
don't do
stuff.
that. Should I watch?
Catastrophe? Have you
That's
seen
the
Catastrophe?
only thing that I want to watch.
Wait, what is
totally
this?
do that.
20-minute episodes. It is one of the most cleverly written
It's
shows
great.
I have seen. You, my friend, need to watch it.
This is on.
We can discuss why
Amazon.
off air.
Amazon.
You need to watch that show.
Amazon.
Dude, it's so amazing how all these different streaming platforms to watch. It's like Hulu and Netflix and Amazon and like.
I feel like HBO is all you really need. I only pay for HBO because I'm like, you know what?
How do you do
That's all I
that?
really
Do you
need.
just do HBO like
Go or whatever it is. HBO Go.
which is a totally unplugged from
I don't have to have
cable?
HBO and cable. I literally pay $15 a month and I have everything on HBO.
Seriously?
And that's all I do. I'm like, I don't need anything else in the world. I've got Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. I've got Game of
Yep.
Thrones.
No.
What else do I need in this world?
What happened to Blockbuster?
They died.
What happened to Redbox? Is that still
They
around?
haven't died
Redbox?
yet.
That seems
People
like
still-
Redbox is like kibbing on the side of the
They
street.
are.
You know?
They're still there. It's
People
only a matter of
still
time.
get Netflix DVDs in the mail, though.
Yeah,
That service
I know
exists.
an older man, like 68, who does that, and I'm looking at him like, man, just what are you doing?
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, our guest,
How would I
our,
watch this thing if I
our
didn't
guest
put it in?
last week, Mr. Mark Valley, does that.
He orders discs
Yeah.
in the mail.
Yep.
We won't
Yeah.
discuss
You know,
his
here's the
age.
thing. We can laugh about that.
Right.
We can laugh about that, but it's coming for all of us. Like, there is a day when
There's no
all of
escape.
us will be intimidated and freaked out by technology, and
You're
will,
right. You're
like
so
not know how to
right.
deal.
And
like,
we just won't do it.
like I have this elderly relative in Florida who just died recently.
Aw.
She was old. She was like 87.
Okay, that's a little
Rest
good
in
life.
But
Long
I was in her
life.
house,
Right.
and her relationship to her computer was hilarious because like first of all, she was terrified of everything. Like, she had like 5 different like antivirus programs on her,
Oh, she
and
just needed
like,
a Mac. That's all she
subscription
needed.
services to like I mean,
Right.
they were making a lot of money off of her.
Oh.
But also just the way she did stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she printed out every single email exchange she had. She would print and then file away in a filing cabinet
Oh, that's cute.
and
That's
by
cute.
the name of the person she was having a correspondence with. I know, right?
That's
Thorough.
really cute.
And so, like, I went into this file cabinet and there were just, by name, these
Instead of
folders
searching John
Yeah.
Kimbrough
of all the correspondence that she'd ever had with me was, like, printed out. So,
kinda
anyway,
sweet.
it's a cautionary tale. we're all headed there. Is all I'm saying.
You're right. I was just reading how robots are going to be doing surgery soon, and the first man just got his eye surgically worked on by a robot. And I thought, I don't know if I want. Yes, I don't know if I want.
When did that come out?
Experience that yesterday. There was an article about the first guy who just got surgery on his eye by a robot.
But there was a surgeon controlling.
Yeah, for sure. He wasn't controlling him. He was there to make sure shit was going okay.
Oh, that's so upsetting.
These surgeons cannot be happy about this.
So, and they were also talking about with artificial intelligence, when we're going to be diagnosed by artificial intelligence, and who's to blame if the artificial intelligence fucks up.
Wow. Mm-hmm. See, this is what I'm saying. Okay, so now that in our lifetimes, like in your lifetime, you will be an elderly person being diagnosed by
a robot,
a robot and artificial intelligence.
Yes, that's going to happen.
And then you will be operated on by a non-human thing.
You're right. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Like going to the dentist and some robots. And,
yep. Yep. It's going to happen.
That's going to take a long time.
No, give me 5 years.
5?
I'm saying 5 to 10. Way. 10 tops.
All right, let's like 10. For safety's sake, let's say
20.
30 years in the future. 30 years in the future.
Safety's sake.
40 years in the future. Shit's going to be
bots
really
are going to be
weird.
Bots are fucking. I mean, but they made that prediction a long time ago. Robots would be like around the house, like
right.
You saw Rocky. You know what I'm saying? There's a robot in Rocky.
That's right, Rocky 3. Yeah,
right, and you were like, oh shit, look at this. If you see it in movies,
that was Rocky 2.
Was it Rocky 2?
It was Rocky 2.
I feel like was it Rocky 2?
Or was it Rocky 4?
Dude, I think it was Rocky 4.
Because it was the one where like he was, it was the one where like he was kind of complacent, like he had like won all the big bouts and like.
No, I think it was
rich.
the Drago one. Was it the Russian
That's Rocky
one?
4. That's
Rocky 4, yeah, because in the beginning he's super rich.
I will destroy you.
You will lose.
That's
the best. That's the best.
But he had a robot. You're right. He had a robot. And didn't Drago
Drago was almost like a robot.
But they used like high tech. Like he was like the high tech adversary for Rocky. Because remember they did that like that public relations appearance where he's like fighting, basically punches like a computer thing to like show his like punch strength or whatever, and then the computer gives a readout.
Oh, totally. He's just like the strongest man alive. Doesn't make you though? Could you kind of want to go to Siberia and fucking start running through the snow and running up a hill? Maybe not.
No.
And like working out.
That. Yeah.
Isn't that what you guys do at Equinox? Pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's what she does. You should see her. I walk by. She's doing some crazy like.
You like how much weight can you lift?
I can squat 120, and then I can do.
That's insane.
And then like the leg press, I can do like 300.
So squat is like you're in it's a
like
deadlift.
A back squat. No, that's deadlift.
Oh, okay, I got you. So it's on.
Squat.
It's on. I get you.
On
so you
back.
come down up onto your shoulders. And
yeah,
you lift the bar.
weight stays. No, the weight stays on my shoulders.
Right.
And then I squat down.
That's a lot of weight. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, how much can you deadlift?
Oh, right now I'm like at 115 on my deadlift. I don't like deadlifting.
I love how you just know that number that quickly.
Do you know what I can do? I know my number.
What?
To deadlift?
Yeah.
35.
No, you can at least do the bar.
I can deadlift 35.
I guarantee you can do more than the bar.
35 pounds. That's what I can do. Like, just imagine just like veins bulging. Just straining it. That's what I can do.
You got to make sure you grind.
And then I just drop it like,
and then it reverberates.
Away. Yeah. 35 pounds.
It's all about slamming that 35 pounds on the floor of the gym.
Yeah.
To make it,
That's a lot of weight, though.
I mean, there's people who do a lot heavier than I do, which I aspire to get there.
What's your number for like the most weight?
Like, I would love to, like, if I squat 150 on the regular, that'd be awesome. I'll get there eventually. And I should be deadlifting, like,
how often do you
easily 150, 160.
Do you do squats like every other day?
No, I try to squat twice a week. Most people squat once a week or maybe every other.
Why can't you just do it every day?
You got to leave recovery because when you do weights, your muscles break down. And the way you get muscles, because on the recovery days, they build back up. And when they build back up, they don't build up in a nice way. What you're saying is that
my life is just one long recovery day.
Exactly.
I'm just doing a lot of recovery.
You're doing a lot of recovery.
Dude,
that's awesome.
You're killing it with recovery.
Your muscles are going to bulge any day now.
That's
killing it.
No.
Yeah. And now that we've sidebarred onto like 17 things, I do have to say, how stoked were you when your music was on This American Life?
Oh, I was really stoked, yeah.
I love that show.
I know, it's great.
It's amazing.
It's a great
I mean,
show.
you create the music for This American Life.
I did. I mean,
Some of the jingles that they use.
the stuff
Yeah.
that they
the reoccurring. I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, reoccurring music.
But I've been
that they
doing it for a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the
yeah.
first time I did it was like 2001 or
Right.
2002. So
When you
a
first
long
did
gig.
it, were you like, guys, I've made it?
not really, because like I feel like This American Life wasn't quite the sort of institution that it is now.
I hear you.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was definitely. I was really happy to do it, and it was great. It was fun. And
Yeah.
I listened when it came on the radio. And,
right.
But it wasn't like This American Life now.
Everybody, you know.
When was the
Did
last
you hear
time you
This
when
American
when was the last time you listened to it? Like listening to your music, do you still kind of like check in every once in a while and be like,
it's weird. I haven't listened.
"Oh,
in
I
a
remember
while.
that jam I laid down for
Well,
them."
I did a bunch of music for them a year ago.
Oh, you know they're using it. I'm sure.
I know they are, and I keep meaning to just check in and see. If
I just pull it up every week on my phone. I just,
It's so
It's
is
so
that is
good.
that arguably like the most popular or the most listened
I would say
to?
one of them. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It's so well
Yeah.
produced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really,
There's a
really
vibe to that show.
Such a great
There's
story.
an
It's
energy
just such a
to
good
it. It
storytelling.
just takes you into this other thing. There's a
does.
tone to it.
Yeah.
the problem with it. The reason I don't listen to it that often is that I need to carve out the time,
Yeah, because you want to listen, you want to enjoy, you want to pay attention.
and usually I'm doing it when I'm doing other things, and
Right.
if I get hooked, once you get hooked, like if I turn it on and it's on the radio and I'm driving somewhere,
I'm not
I'm
getting
like,
out of my car.
I can't commit to it, because if I listen for a minute and a half,
You're
Oh
in.
yeah, you're in.
I'm going to be sitting in my car.
Right. Well, that's why whenever I have
It's
long
almost like-
drives
it's
or
almost like-
traffic, I'm always
yeah.
like, This American Life, let's get it.
Kind of like
No.
Dateline.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot.
If you
like,
and that guy's voice
Right,
comes
right,
on
right.
and like you watch Dateline for over a minute and it's like next thing you know you're just like, and then the crazy twist was that he never did return that phone call, and then it's like all of a sudden you're just like your head tweaks a little bit like a dog, and it's like you're stuck for a solid hour. You can't get out of it.
But I haven't. That's a weird thing about just like having cable. Like I would love to cut the cord and do what you're doing.
Do
which
it.
is just HBO.
Do it.
But I don't ever watch networks anymore. Like I don't watch like NBC, ABC.
Right,
CBS.
right.
I don't watch those.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't flip through still.
No,
Well, are
I
you a
need to cut the
sports
cord.
guy?
Less so in LA. When I lived in New York, I really was.
Okay.
I watch it less. I
I would
watch
say
TNT.
those
I
are
watch,
the last, remaining people who have not cut
That's right.
cords
That's
are,
right.
are sports guys.
Yeah, like TNT, like the NBA playoffs,
Yeah.
and finals, and
Of course,
stuff like
of
that.
course.
There's no reason for me to have.
I mean
cable.
ESPN,
Shouldn't have it.
ESPN2,
I just have
ESPN.
HBO.
How many ESPNs are there now?
I don't know, man.
7?
Exactly. There's 7. ESPN Espanol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everything's
I don't-
Espanol.
And they've revamped Sports Center now, so it's not even like because ESPN used to be like, oh, I'll just check into Sports Center and see what's going on.
Right.
But now they are doing a whole different thing with it, where doesn't perform that function anymore. So
yeah.
I gotta just cut the cord.
You
I
just
don't need to
do
be
it.
on cable.
You can do it.
Why am I still there? Why am I doing that?
Because you think you're going to miss out on something.
Cord cutting.
I'm not gonna miss out on anything.
It's like people who have a gym membership and they actually don't go to the gym, but they refuse to
That was
cancel
me.
their membership.
That's me.
Because they're like, I might go. But I might go.
Yeah.
But
That
then
was
if I want to go and I don't have a membership, then what am I going to do?
It's so true. No, well, it was almost like the transitive property of like exercise.
Right.
If I have the gym membership, then somehow I am
You're
maintaining
going to,
fitness.
yes.
But
Yes.
I feel like once you go in the direction that you've kind of gone in, which is like build out the studio, that's kind of like your.
Yeah, I don't need to exercise. Well, you're right.
If you're once you're
Totally
you're
right.
like all in with music and stuff like
I
that,
can
like
just die. I can just
like
slowly turn
it's
into
totally okay for you to just do nothing but be in that studio working on music and never do
Yeah.
anything else, and like somehow it's fine.
and then I'll just die.
I mean,
Right.
also,
Behind the-
to your credit, you as well have a high metabolism.
I do.
So it's not like you're packing on the pounds.
No.
No.
But I'm the skinny guy that just drops dead of a heart attack. And when you play the podcast, you'll be like later, you'll be like, God, he just called it. It was crazy.
And dude, and you're
Remember
say
when we
that.
did that podcast and he actually said it?
it's like he was right.
That's awful.
But you are you making it through the night without crushing some sweets?
Oh, I was cracking up when you were talking about your elf cookies.
Oh, they're so
That's
good.
hilarious. You know why it's adorable? Because, as Brad knows, like I would crush like the entire package in a sitting. Like for you to be like, I had one today, like, is adorable.
I know.
It's
And
adorable.
she kind of strung them out over actually like a couple of
Yeah,
days.
no. It's adorable. I can't have that stuff in my house because
Well, I typically don't have that stuff
I
in
eat
my
it in
house.
one sitting.
Right. Okay. All right.
I like just sit in front of the TV and I watch TV and I
Dateline.
just hate eat. I just
Hate eat.
I just
Hate eating.
like I just
That's like the
force it
thing.
down, and it actually like it's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
But it's
Wait, what's your
super-
choice? What's your choice food to hate?
I have so many.
Oh
There's
my
so
God.
many gross.
Tell me, what is it?
gross things. Nothing particularly exciting. Just like cheap chocolate chip cookies.
Okay, yeah.
Is it mainly Trader Joe's?
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna
Tell me.
get real here for a
Okay,
minute.
get real. I want to hear it.
Don't love Trader Joe's cookies and candy.
Okay, question.
Really?
Question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm going to challenge you on that one.
Okay.
Okay, have you had the plastic tin, okay, and it's the mini chocolate chip cookies. They're like this, and they're light, and they're crispy, and so you eat like 17 at once because they're the bite size. You just pop them in.
No.
Okay.
From Trader Joe's?
I should buy you those. Second, I want to challenge you. It's a gold bag. It's usually in the frozen section where they put the cookies above, and it's pretzels with peanut butter inside covered in chocolate.
Yeah.
And I keep those in my fridge.
Yeah, those are good.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing about Trader Joe's. All Trader Joe's dessert type things
Yeah.
that I have found.
Okay.
They're really sweet. So like the first couple of them, you're like, damn, this is really good.
Yeah.
And then after 36 or 37 of them, because that's what I do. You're like, these are gross. Like I'm feeling gross. It's too sweet. There's something that's they all kind of taste the same. Like
Yeah.
all the Trader Joe's candy and cookies, they all kind
Okay.
of taste the
Right.
same.
Right. Yeah.
And I just have like this horrible soul sickness after I eat them.
Yeah,
I
and
just
then
feel
you
terrible.
gotta go for a walk around the block
Yeah.
so you don't feel so bad.
Right. Conversely, if I make myself like homemade, like Nestle, like
Yeah,
Toll
yeah.
House cookies,
Yeah.
chocolate chip cookies, and I make like
You just break the dough.
yeah, and
Yeah.
if I make like 50 of them and eat all 50 of them in one sitting,
Have you done that? Have you really done that?
oh yes, I'll feel terrible.
I think
Yeah.
the soul sickness is just sickness. Stomach sickness.
I'm just trying to like fill the emptiness inside.
What?
That's good.
The
Gosh,
void.
Tell us
the,
why.
the epic
tell
void.
us why you have emptiness inside, John.
Oh.
Where do I
long one.
begin?
Does a woman has to
I don't know
do
if we have
with
time
this?
for that in this podcast.
Or a man?
The never enough. The
No.
never enough void.
Is this
Not a
career?
woman.
Several.
It's
string
just
of
for
them.
me. Yeah, but it's also like for me, it's just because it's there. It's like
Okay.
I just gotta. If there's crap in the cupboard,
Yeah.
I'm going.
You know it's
to-
there.
You're good. You're all right.
And also, like I just, I'm compulsive like that. I just will eat if
Okay.
it's in front of me. I will eat. I'm like
And
a
the
dog.
amazing
So
thing
if
is
I
like
put like carrots in front of you, does the same effect happen?
No,
Okay.
no.
and yet he stays so skinny.
It does metabolism.
It's ridiculous.
It does metabolism.
I'm a sugar person. I
Okay.
like sugar.
You like sugar.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing? Like is
Sugar
it sugar or is it salt?
Salt.
Okay.
Salt's
What's your
my favorite.
favorite salty snack?
Well, I really like Doritos.
Old school.
Also, you can buy them at Rite Aid. It's the only place I found them at this point in time. The potato skin chips by TGI Fridays.
Oh my god.
And they're like
Oh
the
my
cheddar,
God.
the cheddar bacon flavor.
Those sound dangerous.
They're so good, but my brain starts to hurt after eating them because there's so much MSG in
Oh, there's
them.
all kinds of chemicals.
Yeah. So I cannot buy those except for maybe one time a month. And
But you're the kind of person who probably you eat like 3 or 4 handfuls, and then you're like, okay,
no,
and you put
no,
a chip
no,
clip on the
no,
bag.
I'll
and you
eat the
put
whole
it-
bag. I'll eat the
Oh,
whole
you will?
But you know what I do love? French onion dip. So you give me some like Lay's and some French onion dip.
Yeah, that stuff's deadly.
That's
Dangerous.
That's the shit. I totally agree.
Now, when you guys go to the movies, do you get popcorn and then also like do the salt sugar
I'm
thing?
the person who smuggles snacks in.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And I will get white cheddar popcorn usually and bring that in. Sour Patch Kids, I also really am
You don't
fond
like the
of.
regular popcorn they have at the.
I don't have a problem with
Theater?
regular popcorn, but I'm just like, look, I'm not paying $8 for this much fucking popcorn, okay? I'm
No,
not
I
doing
agree.
it.
I agree.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
If I'm going to splurge, it's going to be on a slushie.
Interesting.
Wow. Everybody has their own movie sort of go-to thing. I feel like it's like a ritual.
Unless
type
I'm
almost
going to
thing.
like iPick and then you're like intentionally make an event out of it.
And you
know?
get free popcorn at iPick.
And exactly, they give you free popcorn and a soft drink.
Because
so,
it's worthless. Because it's like 2 pennies worth of
exactly.
product.
Yep.
My jam is like small popcorn, lightly buttered,
Yeah.
with a small
Wait, what do you like?
Sprite.
So I knew you were going to say Sprite. I knew
Well, how
it.
did you know?
I don't know. I just knew it was going to happen.
It has to be a
That's
Sprite.
it? And
No,
then-
it's a small Sprite, and then there's got to be a chocolatey thing. It's either Junior Mints
Oh.
or peanut M&Ms.
Have you had the M&Ms with peanut butter inside?
Yeah, they're basically
Those
Reese's
are deadly.
Pieces. Though.
Those are deadly.
That's like a Reese's. That's like Reese's
okay,
Pieces.
okay. I
a
think
similar
Reese's
smell.
Pieces
You
are more sugary.
Reese's Pieces are so great too, but sometimes they can make me feel sick.
I like Reese's
Yeah.
Cups.
If you mix them up with the popcorn, the butter from the popcorn mixed with the Reese's
Ugh.
Pieces will
So
make you feel sick.
that is a great Trader Joe's candy. Are there little mini peanut butter? They're
Oh, yeah.
Reese's
Cups.
equivalent
Yep,
things.
those are good.
I'm about to drop the epic Trader Joe's
Oh, no.
dessert on you.
Wait,
Have you
what-
guys
what?
stumbled across the thing called tree bark?
Is that at Christmas time?
No, it's all the time.
Okay, what is it?
It's just called tree bark. It's almost like the toffee thing on the outside of it,
I love
but it's like
toffee.
chocolatey, toffee,
Oh.
barky.
Is it
you put it in the
candy?
Are
freezer.
there nuts involved in this?
Not-
don't like nuts
not
in my
too
candy.
Much, not too much. No,
Okay.
trust me. Just trust me. on
Tree
this
bark.
one.
Okay.
Tree
Tree
bark.
All right.
2 words. Tree
bark.
bark. Trader Joe's.
Tree bark.
Check it out.
All right.
I promise you.
I will. I will. I'm always on the hunt for like the next thing.
next thing that you're gonna-
Right, because you get once you do
Splurge
Oreos
on.
for a bit, you're bored with the cookie thing. You
You know what I've been doing
late?
lately? Just this is so sad. Just like straight Milanos, like Pepperidge Farm Milano cookies.
yeah.
I'll just buy a bag of Milanos, pour a glass of milk, and just eat the whole bag. Oh yeah, dude. There's not enough.
The
Like,
traditional Milanos, or you like?
the double chocolate ones are not that good. There's just too much.
How do you do it, man? I don't get it.
I would never eat like a couple of cookies out of a bag.
Wait, no,
of
you don't
Milanos.
eat too much food though during the day though.
Food?
Is that the secret with
Did
you?
you say food?
Like food, like meals, right? Because I never see you eat that much.
I mean, I eat normal amounts.
Do you
of
do you eat
food.
like a breakfast and a lunch dinner thing? Or
I
you-
do.
Yeah,
Do you?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
Yeah.
It's like you said. It's metabolism
It's metabolism.
Jesus, man. The genes, the genetics.
up to a point.
Yeah,
and
up
then
to
you
a
know
point.
once you.
But here's the thing: if you're slender, you always are in danger of getting skinny fat. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's why I got to work out. So
That's
you don't
not
get
good.
skinny fat.
That's not a
Right.
good look.
What's the skinny fat? It's like you're
It's
skinny,
like your
but you
thin
kinda,
legs and thin arms. You have like this chubby chub going over your waistband.
Yeah, it's not a good look. A little spare tire.
Yeah,
It's not a good look.
like
Not a
maybe
strong-
on the back of your arms. A little
not a
bit.
strong beach
Oh,
look.
like fourth grade math
Yeah.
teacher arms.
Right.
It's got to watch out for that.
Yep.
Wow. You're not ready
So-
for Baywatch.
No, that's why I lift.
I'm definitely not ready for Baywatch.
Isn't that movie coming out soon?
Yes, it is.
Like I keep feeling like it's like I see
The posters.
billboards and trailers, and I feel like has it been out for like months?
Yeah, it came
already?
out. It came out.
Oh,
It's
it came
supposed
out?
to be. Yeah, it's supposed to be not good.
Well, yeah. I haven't
Oh,
heard
really?
anyone talk about it.
It's supposed
Speaking
to be
of,
not good.
speaking of
Zac
other things
Efron
that are coming
and
out,
The Rock.
Teen Judge has a show coming up
What?
soon.
Hey,
what?
I like that segue. That was good. It was
Damn.
elegantly placed.
June 4th?
Yeah, this Sunday, June 4th.
Talk about it.
At 3 p.m.
Yep.
Ooh,
in Sycamore Grove Park in Glassell Park.
how great is that?
Yeah. and we're
Loomis Day.
playing-
What is this Loomis Day? I haven't heard of that before.
It's just like a music and art
Love
festival. It's been going on for like 12 years now.
Amazing.
And they just,
Sick.
have a bunch of stages and people play
Yeah.
music. And I think we're the only rock band. I think it's like
Okay.
a lot of sort of singer-songwriter, like folk
Cool,
stuff.
cool.
And there's like some dance stuff.
Mm-hmm,
And
Wow.
we'll see what happens. I mean, we might empty the park. I don't know. Because it's going to be loud.
These guys, are they ready for the judge?
I don't know if they're ready for some full-on...
The judge. The Rock.
Yeah.
Are you going to be playing mainly stuff off your new record? Are you going to
Yeah.
do some new jams or?
We're gonna play a new song.
Because you
But
just
we're
had
mostly-
music
Nice.
that came out in March, correct?
So we made a record,
Yes.
and that record came out in March.
Marchish.
And so we're gonna be playing most of the music off that record,
Love that.
and so we had a record release in Minneapolis. We went back
Mm-hmm.
to. I used to play in a band that was based out of Minneapolis, so there were there's like a big
Okay.
fan base there, and
Oh, that's why you went to Minneapolis for the record release.
So we
Okay,
went
okay.
we went and did that there, and then we did a little record release here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So
no.
John was in a band called Walt Mink
Yes.
in the 90s.
Yes.
And they were like pretty happening. Like
Oh,
on,
I don't know about that. We were just
like on a major label and like you guys toured the world.
Well, I mean, we didn't tour the world, but we had like
You got out there.
Yeah, I mean, we had a moment where we were made a handful of records on a couple of different record labels, and we did a lot of touring, and we opened for a lot of bands that were happening. We opened for a lot of, I like to think of us as like the Zelig of rock music. You know what Zelig is? Remember the movie with Woody Allen?
Nope, negative.
That's great. That's kind of a long. I don't know if I want to go there because it's going to take a long time to explain why.
It's
we were
fine.
the Zelig
I'll
of
Google
rock.
it.
The Zelig of rock.
But yeah, we were sort of we were a fly on the wall for a lot of other big bands.
But you really tasted what it was like to be in a major label, to tour, to
we
you
tasted
tasted
it all.
we
it.
got to taste.
You
gotta
tasted it.
But
you
in terms
rolled
of
around
like,
in it.
managed by some major cats and just like whatever, man. Just like toured and opened for how many? Who did you tour and open for?
A bunch of people.
Bunch of folks.
Just a bunch of '90s bands.
Okay.
And it was really fun. It was also, there's a lot of stress around it. It was very different. It wasn't like it is now, where there aren't really major record labels, and there aren't. The record industry just works totally differently now.
Yeah.
So. I don't know how bands do it now, where they just kind of, you have a social media presence, and you just book shows, and then you sell merch, and that's how you make a living.
Right.
It wasn't like that at all. It was like the opposite. Like you got signed to a major label, which was essentially like taking out a huge bank loan.
Right.
And then you made your record, and you owed the label all this money for the cost of the record, and then the label was spending money to promote you, and you also owed them for that money.
Yeah.
But there was this big source of funding, so you would go on the road, you go on tour.
So the advance was never really truly an advance, right?
I mean, the advance is like.
I mean, you hoped you made it all back. So yeah.
I mean, it's like it literally is like a bank.
Some
loan.
people, I remember, like, I got the advance, I bought a house. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
God, that sounds like a bad idea.
Well,
But
there are
then
certain
technically-
portions of the record deal that are non-recoupable, like the advance. That's sort of like
that's like your money. You don't have to give that back.
depends on the terms of the agreement. I mean, it depends on the contract, but there are some record deals where you would just get like a $50,000 advance. But often that was tied to record sales later.
Right.
You get that money up front, and then you'd have to sell enough records to pay back the label. So
I love the infamous, like the famous Goo Goo Dolls story. Like they I don't know, like it's $2 million or something like that they were in debt after they their label gave them an advance. They went on tour. They sold like millions of records, and then when it was all done, when the whole album cycle was over for like one of their big hits, their biggest hit record, they like technically, when it was all said and done, they owed the label like a couple $1 million, something like that. They were in debt after it's like
it was like that. I mean, it really did feel to bands that didn't make a ton of money, sell a bazillion records. It really did feel like a bit of a racket. Now the good news for a band like us was, I mean, the flip side of that equation was that there were a lot of bands who just didn't make any money at all, and so the label would take a huge hit on that band. But I never really thought it was very smart the way they spent money. It was major labels like the label we were on. They spent, I think I saw the final accounting for what they spent on us, and it was like $500,000.
Wait, you actually saw the final accounting? I thought that never even happens.
Well, no, because through our management, they send sort of statements about what money goes out and what money has been spent and all that kind of stuff. And they spent like a ton of money on a little band that didn't really ever sell any records and didn't make them any money at all. Yeah. And I just thought, that's just bad business.
Yeah.
Like, it was a weird thing. So sometimes in that case, the bank loan is totally forgiven. Like we basically robbed the bank.
Oh my God.
You won.
Well, I don't know if you'd call it winning, but it was a totally different model for how things happen. So like,
but nowadays, essentially, it's the same kind of model, though. It's just right.
Well,
in a lot of ways,
it's totally inverted. In other words, like back then, the deal was, you made a record, you went out on the road, and the whole point was to sell as many of those records as possible.
Right.
And the reason you were on the road was to generate awareness of the band so that you could sell records. And now it's exactly the opposite. Like you make a record and it's sort of a loss leader. It's just like a little calling card that you give to people so that they'll come to your show.
Right.
So that you can sell merch.
Right.
It's totally backwards.
Totally different. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how we got on that subject.
So are any of the guys from Walt Mink and Teen Judge?
No, just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
The other guys are all
Doing
from
their own
different
thing.
Yeah,
all
they're
new
all from
iteration.
different bands and
And so this is the first band you've had in almost 20 years, right?
I started a
that.
band in New York with my friend Dave Hill called Valley Lodge. And Valley Lodge made they still exist and they're still making records, but I haven't been like an active member since the first record, really. 2 records.
Might be one of my favorite band names right now, Valley Lodge.
It's a great name for a band.
It's good.
Yeah, Dave came up with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Teen Judge is pretty cool too.
But this is the first band.
I mean, Walt Mink's actually kind of super genius in a weird way. It's like Walt Mink. Who the hell?
Who the hell?
Who came?
Is
It was
that?
like, I got it. Walt Mink.
He was our professor
Right.
in college. He was our psychology professor.
There you go. Walt
Yeah.
Mink.
And
It's
we were all
amazing.
hanging around because we were at the time we were all in college and
Yeah.
we were playing like house parties. And so the thing was, how did you get people to go to like a party in a basement somewhere?
Yeah.
And we
you're
were just
like,
thinking
Walt
of
Mink.
names, and then I forget. I think our
Yeah.
drummer was like Walt Mink. We all laughed, and then we stopped laughing, and then we were like, "Yeah, that's good. That's good."
I think Teen Judge too is a kind of genius in a way too, because the music, it kind of lends itself towards like maybe kind of some teen angst in there a little bit. Yet you guys are a little bit more, I guess I don't want to say older, but just like
Yeah, it's okay. You can say it.
seasoned, mature.
Really old.
So like it's almost like
Really old.
lending itself to the teen thing, but like
So
we're
it's
the
like
judges,
older guys
like
having to do with teenagers?
No, it's what's funny about it is that I misheard something on the radio. I was doing the dishes,
Yeah.
and I thought I heard somebody say Teen Judge, and I just thought like Teen Judge, and then I was like,
I just hate you.
wow, that's like my worst nightmare, like being like a teen judge. And I just wrote it down.
But it works.
Like, that's kind of a funny band name,
Right.
But it works both ways. Like either I'm either judging the teens,
Right?
or I am being judged by them.
You are.
Wow.
I think that's true.
Go either way.
It is going either way.
So
But,
it's just
hey.
a band name, just a name.
Yeah. And then when
You
you won
gotta
your...
cater to the teens, man. You gotta cater to the teens in the world of rock
Yeah,
and
I
roll.
hadn't even really thought about it that way.
No.
I just thought it was. Yeah, I just misheard it on the radio. I
Yeah.
thought, that's a
And
cool.
it just
sounding
it just
That
came
struck
to
a
you
chord.
in that moment.
And then how jazzed were you when you won your Emmy?
I was pretty jazzed. It was
Yeah.
pretty. I was not expecting to win.
So you were told you're nominated and you're like, what the bananas?
Yeah. Well, okay. So full disclosure,
Full disclosure.
not to be a jerk, but I've actually won.
Dose. This is true. You have one too.
Come on, Chrissy.
This is true.
So the first time I was like, the first time I lived in New York, and my friend who was a producer on this show that I wrote a song for that got the nomination called me and said, "You were nominated for a," and I was like, it seemed so abstract. I just thought like, oh, that's hilarious. And I was like, she's like, well, you have to go to L.A. to the ceremony. I said,
To the
I'm not.
Emmys.
I said, I'm not going to that. She said, you're
Dude, it's the
crazy.
Emmys. Yeah.
You're crazy. And I looked at the other people who were nominated, and they were really famous.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not going to win. Like, this is...
Yeah.
It just felt totally abstract. So, long story short, they
Did you
finally...
go?
Yeah. They scraped some money together. The network that I
Yeah.
did the show for flew me out.
Yeah.
And...
That's when you're like, well, I had to buy my ticket. No.
And well, so yeah, but I mean, I didn't think I had a chance at all.
Right.
So it was totally surreal to sit in that audience and hear
All
your
these
name,
people. Yeah.
but also to hear your name being read and the winner is, and then it's like your
Oh
name.
my God.
It's like an out of body experience. You're just like, wait, did they just say my name?
And what was your acceptance
Wait,
speech?
did you?
I didn't have one. That was the other thing. So I knew I wasn't going to win. Like,
Is
Right.
this taped on YouTube somewhere?
yeah, it was part of the Emmy telecast.
I mean, it has to be.
Yeah.
It was on TV.
I used to
I
have
gotta see this.
I had it on video. I had a VHS.
VHS.
Of course.
Because it was a while ago. But it was very weird. So I had no acceptance speech at all.
So what'd you say?
I don't remember. I just went up there and it was like totally surreal. Blah, 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 blah.
Total fucking blackout.
Yeah.
Right?
Debbie Reynolds gave me the Emmy. Suddenly I was standing there and Debbie Reynolds is like, she was very small. and she gave me like a little hug, and Emmy.
And it was just you that went up there to accept it?
Yeah, it was just me.
I love it.
That was the first time.
And the second time when you were nominated, you were like, well, I guess maybe there's a chance. Like, maybe.
Well, so the second time was with a group because I had done this. I'd done a thing where the whole performance was sort of nominated, and so we were all nominated collectively.
Yes.
There you go.
And so we were just sitting there, and because I had won before, I knew that the impossible was possible.
Yeah.
So it's not that I thought we were going to win.
You're like, well.
I just thought this has happened to me before where I knew I wasn't going to win,
Right.
and I did. So I was a little more just kind of open to it. And then when we won, I just busted out laughing. I was just laughing my head off, walking up, just like, what are the odds?
You're like, I can't lose.
I know, exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was like, what are the odds? This is so stupid.
Everyone's like, dude, you just don't lose at these things, man. You just win these things.
Yeah. And so, when we were standing on stage, I wasn't giving the acceptance speech. Somebody else was.
Right.
And
you're just like.
I was in the background, like, just laughing, literally just laughing my head off. And my phone went off in my pocket of my jacket, and I took it out, and it was my dad, and he was back in New York, and
watching.
He and his wife had turned on the TV just to watch the Emmys, just for whatever reason, and his wife had been like, "Is that John?
Is he laughing?
What's he doing up there?" And my dad immediately called me while I was on
to make
stage.
sure it was you.
And so he's watching the TV, and I reach into my pocket and take out my phone, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?"
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your dad's like, wait a second, is that me? We're getting an Emmy? Because your dad's won Emmys, right?
He's never won. He was nominated. He was nominated for one, yeah.
Wow. And he was such a visible character on Murphy Brown.
Yeah. I think that actually really bugs him.
That you won, that you got there for the Emmy.
Oh shit.
That's amazing.
I think it does.
But it wasn't. Have you ever discussed it with him?
I feel like that's not a discussable thing.
So the morning after,
it's almost like one of those things you just never talk about. Right?
Well, so the morning after that I won the first time, he took me and my future ex-wife out to breakfast.
Yeah.
And he said, he was like, he said, I almost won one of those.
Oh.
He said, I was nominated. And he told this little story about it. And I was like, aw. He's like kind of mad. He's kind of mad about it. Because it really wasn't fair.
Yeah.
Because that's not what I signed up for. Like he
Right.
devoted his whole life to acting, which is what you win Emmys for.
Right.
And I was like playing in some rock band. And then like I backed into this gig that got me this. Yeah. Like,
it just
I didn't
happened.
deserve
Isn't life amazing?
It's so not fair.
And for those of you listening right now, John's dad, what's your father's name? He was
Charles Kimbrough.
Charles Kimbrough.
Yeah.
And he was on Murphy Brown.
Yeah. And he was an actor for, before
he was mainly on Murphy Brown.
Yeah, he was an actor for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Prior to Murphy Brown.
So he's done obviously more than.
So
Murphy
he
Brown.
did like a lot of stuff on Broadway, and he was like a New York based
New York guy.
So he had paid his dues.
Right.
So to have his like.
So he was all about Broadway and doing it right.
To have his like kid son
Who's,
sitting
like,
across
not-
him like hey. Probably
Out in
Shit,
L.A.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Dude, it's so funny. I was watching this TV show. It was called like Remembering the 80s. Like I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh yeah, I'm addicted to those shows.
Are you? Yeah. And it was a bunch of stuff about Murphy Brown, and like there's a whole bunch of stuff with your dad, and I'm like, oh my god, looks just like John.
Yeah, I know it's weird.
Crazy.
I didn't used to look so much like him. I used to look a lot more like my mom, but now
Really?
it's becoming
But now it's
You're
a
going
thing.
there.
Yeah.
Now it's a thing.
Now it's my
Surrender. It's technology,
I just
robots,
gotta-
and just turning into your dad. We turn into our parents, I guess.
Yeah, and I really don't want that to happen. But I don't think I have a choice in the matter. I think it's just sort of
That's what they say.
It's like what?
It's like one day, someone said to me, it was like, one day, dude, you're going to just realize that you are your dad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
that's
wow.
too depressing. I don't think that's necessarily
I think
true.
there's maybe aspects. Like I have aspects of my dad,
Yeah,
but I'm
I don't
definitely
think that-
not my dad.
Yeah, I think that's not true. I don't
Right.
think that we become our parents. I think that what happens physically as we get older is that certain elements of like our appearance
Right. Okay.
become slightly accentuated so that
Right.
we resemble our.
Which is why everyone should go to the gym.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's never like a fitness. It's not really a fitness issue with my dad. It's just like his face.
Right. Is now
It's
your
very much
face.
like my face.
it's just his face.
His face looks like my face.
I feel like I'm taking on some of my dad's mannerisms more and more
Oh yeah.
as I get older. Yeah, I'm not sure it's a positive thing, but it's
Yeah,
but there's some sick twisted enjoyment in it, like where I'm like saying things the way my dad would say them, or acting like you know what I'm saying, like around my wife and stuff. It's just kind of like
same thing.
and it's like just oddly comforting and sort of like, but yet in a weird
cute.
sort of way, like maybe not correct. Not the right way to be, but
Comforting but not correct.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it's right or wrong or what. It's just it is what it is.
So I feel like we need to tell people where to find you and follow you, and like, are you on social media?
I'm on social media.
Okay, tell us about your social media.
My social media, I'm on. So Teen Judge, you can follow Teen Judge on
follow
Facebook
Teen Judge.
and Instagram.
Please do.
At Teen Judge. And you can follow me on Facebook. Just my name.
Just your name.
And also, if you're interested in my old band Walt Mink, we are on Facebook as well. And
On Spotify.
yeah, I don't know if we are on Spotify.
Really?
Actually,
I think you are.
We're
Pretty
like,
sure. Pretty sure.
knows.
Positive.
We're one of those '90s deep cuts that I don't know if we are actually. All right. Well, anyway,
And you have like a video that was on MTV,
and you can follow me on
right?
Twitter at Johnny Kimbrough, JOHNNY KBRO.
Johnny
I like
Kimbrough.
that. Johnny Kimbrough. I
Yeah.
like that. And you guys have a show coming up, so people go see it.
Yeah, go see it this Sunday, June 4th, at Sycamore Grove Park here in beautiful
Right now, someone's
Glassell
drinking their
Park.
coffee Culotta. It's July fucking 23rd.
Oh, that's
I know,
true.
exactly.
When
What's wrong with that?
when this airs, they're
It
like,
was a good show. Go on their Instagram and look it up. People.
yeah, look it up.
There's some
and
tape
look
up there.
look for future shows.
We were really good. That's all I'm going to say.
They were amazing.
They were amazing.
We were great. We drove lots of families who were picnicking out of the park, but we were really good.
Go look at their Instagram.
And John's got a killer band. The guys in Teen Judge are serious cats.
Yeah,
that have
it's a
done
good band.
all kinds of different crazy things. And the guy who plays bass with you was like playing bass with Bowie.
Yeah, Tim LaFave. He's like the most famous of us,
Of the band.
of all of us. Yeah, he's a
Okay.
He's a cat.
There you go.
But everybody's equally as talented, right? At the
Yeah,
end of the day,
everybody's
Stain
great.
and
Stain Malley
Jay.
on guitar, so good, and Jay Skoranek on drums, who's played in a lot of bands, and everybody's good.
Super
Yeah.
rad dudes, super talented.
So follow Teen Judge, guys. Support them. Get their music. All of the above.
Yes.
This has been another installment of What's Your Story?
And I love how what's your story? It's all about like, what are you crushing at night for fucking
Cookies.
Are you salt? Are
What
you sweet? I mean,
cookies?
we just get to the root of it.
A sleeve, but like for
sleeve.
me, it's not a sleeve; it's two sleeves.
It's too.
I know. I say a
sweet.
sleeve like that's a lot or something. It's like how many sleeves are in a thing of Oreos?
Two.
Like three. No, 3.
No,
three.
I think you're right. 3.
Dude, there's
three.
three.
3. You're right.
So it's like
Do I hate-
multiple sleeves.
Like, here's my threshold for
Okay.
like when to stop.
Okay, tell
do
me.
I hate myself yet? How much do I hate myself right now? If the self-hatred has not reached a certain level yet,
Right.
I have to keep eating.
Yeah.
There's got to be an
That's-
exhale of just like total fucking failure. Where that's when you're just done.
Yeah.
But you went way over, and you're thinking to yourself, how much over did I go compared to the normal person?
I mean, did I cross the threshold?
Did you cross
Yeah, how far did I cross the line? You always cross the line. The question is how far.
And guys, you can always follow Brad and I if you want to see if we ever cross the threshold. I am Chrissy Carpenter on Instagram. I am Chrissy SoCal on Twitter. What are you, Brad?
I think I'm Brad Bird,
With a Y.
BYRD.
Brad Bird with a Y.
Brad_Bird on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up the new record, Highest Mountain.
Get it?
Highest Mountain's coming. Yeah, It's coming out June 23rd.
Yeah.
So by this time, you guys hearing this,
It's out.
it's probably out
Listen.
there somewhere.
That's right.
So check it out. And Chrissy, you've got
Oh, you can check out my show, The Inside Noise Show, guys.
Yes.
InsideNoise.com is where you can find me. You can find our episodes up there. If you want to watch the full episode,
Boom.
it's on Reverie. So
and I'm going to be on
too.
your show June 15th.
You're coming on this month. Yeah, you are. You're
Wow.
going to play live.
It's
It's
coming
going
up.
to be great.
Nice.
And we'll see you guys next week.
We will see you again next week. Have a lovely week, everybody. We want to hear your story.
So,
Peace.
yeah, that's all. Bye.
What's your story? What's your story? What's your story? What's your story?
Brad, what is your story?
What's your story? What's your story?